All right, everybody, welcome back to the Jordan Report, and I am your host, Robert Jordan. Everyone, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. All right, let's go back out to California, guys, the once golden state. I must admit, I really haven't figured out why they're trying to drive everybody out of California. But I do know they're doing everything they can to destroy the quality of life and make it as dangerous as possible for people to live there. Here's what happened last week. I'm going to go through this article and then another one. Then I'm going to show you a local news clip. They put this guy in last week. This is their new district attorney in Los Angeles. He's a George Soros guy. This is what George Soros does. LA County's new district attorney releases stunning lists of radical changes to justice system. Take a look at what this guy's getting ready to do. His name is George Gascon. Los Angeles County's new district attorney wasted no time to implement new changes to crimes his office will not be focused on, and changes to punishment for certain crimes. In his directive to all deputy district attorneys, Gascon wrote the following: misdemeanors will be declined for prosecution except for certain cases. Look what they're no longer charging for crimes in Los Angeles County: trespassing, disturbing the peace, driving without a license, prostitution, criminal threats, drug possession, minor with alcohol, drinking in public, public intoxication, loitering, resisting arrest, under the influence of a controlled substance. Okay? They're no longer prosecuting these things now. So you know things are only going to get worse in Los Angeles. Now let's go south to Orange County here. Let me show you what they're doing down in Orange County. This was yesterday. This is from the Gateway Pundit. Orange County Sheriff refuses to release 1,800 dangerous inmates, including murderers and child molesters, after the judge's orders. Listen to who they're trying to put back out on the street. Orange County Sheriff Don Barnes fought back after a Superior Court judge ordered the release of 1,858 dangerous inmates over concerns about COVID. Nearly 200 of the medically vulnerable inmates ordered to be released are murderers and child molesters. In April, the anti-American ACLU sued to protect the medically vulnerable inmates at the Orange County Jail, and a radical judge sided with the ACLU. Sheriff Barnes said he would immediately be appealing the judge's order to an appellate court, calling the inmates a significant threat to the public. And listen, people, I must say this. This is a sheriff with integrity. Most of these sheriffs would have released these people. They wouldn't have said anything. This guy actually cares about the people around him. I have no intention of doing that, of releasing those individuals back into the community. I think they pose a serious threat, Barnes said. We've released 1,400 inmates to date since March for low-level offenders. The only inmates remaining now are serious offenders, Barnes explained. Of the medically vulnerable, 90 of them are in custody for murder or attempted murder. 94 for child molestation, people. This is who they're trying to release on us. Now here's the local news clip, and we're going to get out of here.
As coronavirus rages through Orange County jails, a judge orders the sheriff to release half of the inmates. That has many asking tonight which inmates are getting out. CBS 2's Orange County reporter Michelle Gili spoke to the sheriff about what's next.
The public should be in a panic, and they should be concerned about this release.
If Orange County's large jail population is cut in half to abide by a new court order, Sheriff Don Barnes says the public's safety will be at risk.
These aren't low-lying offenders. These are people in for very serious offenses: murder, attempted murder, domestic violence.
Orange County Civil Court Judge Peter Wilson sided with the ACLU, which sued the sheriff over concerns about inmates spreading coronavirus in congregated living areas. Conditions in the jail do not permit proper social distancing, the judge ruled. The population in the jail today is 3,716 inmates, and the judge ordered that it be reduced by 50%. Which means 1,858 inmates would be released. Several hundred of them are medically vulnerable.
Of just those who are medically vulnerable based on CDC guidelines, that's 700 inmates in our care. There are 59 of them in for murder, another 39 for attempted murder, 90 of them in for child molestation, and a litany of other violent crimes.
Sheriff Barnes says more than 1,300 inmates have already been released since the pandemic began. He's appealing the court's order.
And if this judge is going to order the release of individuals entrusted to my care who I believe present a significant threat to the public, he will have to identify each one of those by name and order their release pursuant to his authority, not mine.
The sheriff says a week ago, no one in this jail tested positive for COVID, yet today 416 inmates have positive tests. Meanwhile, the judge gave the sheriff a deadline until New Year's Eve to come up with his list of which inmates should be released. Barnes says he has no intention of doing that. Every inmate in this jail, he says, should remain behind bars. In Santa Ana, Michelle Geely, CBS 2 News.
All right, people. The Californians are in a lot of trouble.